Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Story Time. I have some news to share with you. So last week, we read the book Tops and Bottoms, and I showed you video of our spinach and our tomatoes. This morning, I came outside to let our dogs out, and guess what? All of our vegetables were gone. Can you believe it? The squirrels ate our vegetables. So I guess we're just gonna have to start over. That's okay, at least the squirrels had a good breakfast. If you're growing something and other critters eat your vegetables, you'll have to share it with me. So now let's go on to our story for this week, which is called The Jester Has Lost His Jingle. So a jester is somebody who would entertain kings and queens and their guests a long time ago back in palaces and faraway lands. You actually might have seen a jester too, maybe at Epcot or at Disney World or at a circus. They're similar to clowns, but this jester lost his jingle. Let's find out how that happened. The Jester Has Lost His Jingle by David Saltzman. Our story begins quite removed in a castle far away. Our story unfolds, unfortunately, on a very unfortunate day. You see, this morning, when the world awoke, no one was in any mood to joke. But one was still happy and bubbled with joy, for he played with life as you play with a toy. He would dance to its rhythm, being light on his feet. He would sing to its tune, which was gentle and sweet. For he was the jester, and gesture would he to make people laugh and fill them with glee. He had a special helper, as any jester should, a friend by the name of Farley, a piece of talking wood. He carried Farley all over. The two were quite a pair. They viewed life as a carnival, a fun-filled, festive fair. But today, when the jester broke out in his song, how could he have known that something was wrong? When he started his routine and strutted on the stage, how could he have known that the king was in a rage? So he sang his funny song, and he walked his funny walk, and he danced his funny dance, and he talked his funny talk. But nobody giggled, nobody yuckled, nobody laughed, and nobody chuckled. Look at the king, he looks grumpy. The jester has lost his jingle, the king yelled in dismay. His bells no longer tinkle, that's all I have to say. Then without a thought and on a whim, the king decided to banish him. Banish me, sire? Don't send me away. Why is your high highness so down this fine day? But the king gave no answer. He said nothing more, merely pointed his finger toward the front door. The jester walked out slowly, and a tear fell from his face, for he'd never left the kingdom, never wandered from this place. And once outside, the jester cried, "Oh, Farley, I fear, what they say is quite true. I am no longer funny, my career is quite through." "That's nonsense," claimed Farley. "You're still funny, I say. You were funny last week, you're still funny today. It seems a nasty rumor, but laughter must be dead. The world has lost its sense of humor," Farley sadly said. "Then it isn't me at all. It's the world that must be sick. We must find that sense of humor and bring it back here quick." So off they went, our fearless two, to bring back laughter back to you. The journey was long and their journey was rough, but the jester was strong and the jester was tough. They looked far and near. They looked far and wide. They looked everywhere that laughter might hide. They searched in every corner, under rocks and up in trees. They peered into the heavens and gazed deep beneath the seas. They wandered through the country, through meadows lush and pretty. They came upon a gleaming bridge that led into a city. They looked in vain for flowers. They heard no songs of birds, but saw lots of angry faces and heard lots of bitter words. Everyone here is so moody. Everyone here is so mean. I must confess this city is the saddest place I've ever seen. Maybe someone here can tell me. Maybe someone here might know. How come people aren't laughing? How come spirits are so low? Ask that man, Farley mentioned, that man over there, the thin one in the alley with the tangles in his hair. Okay, said the jester, I'll give it a go. Why are you not laughing, sir? I'd really like to know. It's kind of hard to laugh or joke when you're unemployed and completely broke. I have no job, I have no money. So tell me, jester, what's so funny? Oh, Farley, I fear it's much worse than I thought. Is laughter something these people forgot? Impossible, cried Farley. Why, that's news I couldn't bear. Ask that man with the briefcase blowing smoke into the air. Okay, said the jester. I'll try another try. It seems you don't believe in laughing, sir. Can you please tell me why? Laugh! Ha! That's a laugh. The best I've had in years. The world is not a funny place. It's filled with pain and tears. Don't you read the paper? It's all there in black and white. Everything is going wrong and jokes won't make it right. I have no time for laughter. I have no time for you. I'm sorry that's the way things are. There's nothing you can do. Don't believe him, Farley said. We know he must be wrong. Our search for laughter must continue. Time to move along. The jester looked up to the sky as he let out a woeful sigh. He fought back tears and shook his head, then with determination said, There must be someone somewhere with a smile upon their face. There must be someone cheerful in this cold and lonely place. Say, look at that tall building. Perhaps we'll find the answer there. It's up to us to make a difference. It's up to us to care. That word on that building says hospital. What of her? Asked Farley, that little girl in bed, the one who looked so fragile with the bandage on her head. Hello, little girl, the jester said. My, how do you do? I wonder if you can tell me how come laughter's not with you. The little girl looked up and her eyes were opened wide. She turned slowly to the jester and she quietly replied, Here I lie, I have a tumor, and you ask me where's my sense of humor? I've been very sick, I'm so tired of trying. I don't feel like laughing, I just feel like crying. Sometimes I feel like crying too, the jester whispered in her ear. But instead of letting teardrops fall, I make them disappear. Whenever I feel like crying, I smile hard instead. I turn my sadness upside down and stand it on its head. When I get sad or lonesome, or when I get depressed, that's when I sing my loudest and dance my very best. So won't you try it, little girl? Won't you laugh with me? We'll start off very slowly with a tiny tee-hee-hee. So he sang his funny song, and he walked his funny walk, and he danced his funny dance, and he talked his funny talk. And from the room there came a giggle, which echoed down the halls, and soon there came another which bounced up and down the walls. The giggle became a snicker, which grew into a guffaw, which soon became a chuckle that transformed into a ha! The jester was beside himself. He grinned a great big grin. He hugged and thanked the little girl and kissed her on the chin. Soon, laughter leaped right out the window, growing louder as it flew. Can't you hear it coming? It's about to swallow you. It spread to every corner. It filled up every space. Smiles popped up everywhere. Can't you feel one on your face? As the jester ran back to the kingdom, he carried rainbows in his hand, and as people started laughing, colors spread across the land. He leaped into the palace and he hugged the king and queen. He said, "Oh, my high highness, you won't believe what we have seen. Laughter isn't missing, why it isn't even dead. Farley and I have found it," the jester proudly said. "We found where it's been hiding. We've discovered where it's been. It's hiding inside of everyone. It's buried deep within. Laughter's like a seedling waiting patiently to sprout, and all it takes is just a push just to make it pop right out. Don't keep it imprisoned or locked out of sight. Quickly release it. It won't hurt or bite." So the king said, "I'll try it. I'll give it a go." And all of a sudden, out popped a ho! "That's it," yelled the jester. "Just let it flow." And it flowed, and it flowed, and it flowed. And soon, everybody started giggling, everybody started yuckling, everybody started laughing, and everybody started chuckling. "My jester, you have done it," said the king. "You've saved the day. You've brought back love and laughter and helped us find the way." And when the jester heard these words, he smiled and started singing. He somersaulted in the air, for his bells again were ringing. So when you're feeling lonely, or sad, or bad, or blue, remember where laughter's hiding. It's hiding inside of you. And that is, the jester has lost his jingle, but he found it. So I hope you have your jingle inside of you and that you're making the people around you feel loved and joyful. Put a smile on your face. Have a good day.